and welcome to the Irked podcast. You're listening to Michael
and Zach, and this week we are talking about things people do.
Things people do, specifically, as you might guess by the name, things people do
that
that irk us.
Yes.
So,
did you have anything in mind, Michael?
I do actually. Yeah.
Oh, I've got a few.
I've got a few actually, yeah. Just people in general, everything they do.
They are morons.
The thing that irks me, forced politeness.
Oh, okay, good one.
Okay? Now, I'm not talking about having to be polite to other people. I'm talking about when other people are polite and it forces you to do something.
Okay, alright.
Specifically, opening doors. Now, we're polite people. We open doors.
We open doors.
If someone is directly behind you, hold the door open for them.
I did it today like 3 times.
I feel like the rule is, if they are far away enough that the door can completely close, you're allowed to just walk away.
It's difficult to gauge sometimes.
That is exactly the point, because when someone is too far away and they hold the door open for you, you are forced to do a reluctant jog of acceptance.
Yes, it's halfway between like a run and a walk. It's like a fast amble, but
A fast... Yes,
no
it's
one
exactly...
should ever do it because it's not attractive at all.
It's not necessary. Like, I would rather they let the door go. So, that really bugged me for ages.
Also, it gives you a good opportunity to display your capabilities of door opening. As if they think you can't open the door yourself.
I know, exactly. I mean, it's like... I've learnt something from it, though. I've learnt how to take the power back. When someone holds the door open for you, but you are too far away, you don't speed up, you slow down.
You slow down.
You slow down. You walk slowly towards them.
You are bold.
Well, I mean, if you are wanting to be polite, you need to commit to the politeness of opening that door. So you will wait for me until I am ready to go through it. I did not expect you to open the door.
You
were doing something polite.
You could just stand still.
I
Get
could.
your phone out.
I could do.
Just look at your phone for no reason.
Yeah.
And see how long they stay there.
Test their strength.
I'm guessing 1 second.
I feel like when you're doing something polite for someone else, it shouldn't make them work harder than you, who were the one originally doing the polite thing. Holding open a door is not as hard work as doing a kind of half shamble jog.
It's polite to have a door opened for you, apparently.
It is, but if I'm like more than 3 steps away, let the door close, man.
And you could do this thing where you could kind of stop and then look at them and then go, as if to say, oh, you're holding the door open for me. Make that eye contact. And then just go a little way and then slow down a bit and then look at them just as they're starting to walk away again. They could be there forever. It'd be hilarious.
I'm just kind of imagining one day me trying this and then, someone stands there for like 10 minutes just staring at me. I feel like I've found the chosen one. The Neo in the matrix of polite society.
Well, I personally am irked by people in general too, as you know. And one thing that gets me is when you're walking in the city or an area that has a lot of people, and I'm quite a fast walker, but no one else seems to be.
I get you.
It's really annoying because you want to get somewhere, and then what's worse is when someone cuts in front of you and slows down.
Why do they do it? Why not? Why cut in front of you?
I genuinely
Why not stay
feel
behind?
like kicking them.
Yes.
Just a little trip. Oh, didn't see you there. You must have walked straight in front of me and slowed down.
People...
It's deserved.
Truly deserved. It's generally, though, not the sort of people you could get away with kicking. Usually, they're being slow for a reason.
Old women or children.
Old people and children.
I know from experience. It's not the done thing. People they frown upon it.
Yeah.
Kicking old ladies to the
Kicking
ground.
elderly people.
Whoops.
Just to
sorry, Mildred.
Get out of my way, Mildred.
It's bad as well.
I'm not sorry.
There's a 4-hour waiting time at A&E, so it's not a good idea.
I mean, it just ruins their whole day, really.
But it's their fault.
Yeah. They walk into A&E. Oh, how did this happen? I was walking slowly. Nurse just sends them right out half the time. It's like...
We've seen this scenario before, and you're clearly in the wrong.
You do not deserve medical care.
You realise this is the NHS, right? We're understaffed, underpaid. Get out, Mildred. Go home to your husband and let him take care of you.
They get kicked out the door as well as along the path.
I would like to point out at this time, we're not violent people.
No.
We don't actually think it's okay to hurt.
Well,
As I'm saying it, I'm thinking there are instances where it's okay.
I mean, there are probably instances when it's okay, but there's never an instance when we have. Like this, these are the
You
sorts
speak for yourself.
These are the sorts of thoughts like I'll have in my head and now talk about and seem like a terrible person.
Yeah, but
these are not things I act on.
Well, it's the thing is, it starts with a podcast, and then you go on to YouTube videos, and then you start reenacting or trying these things, and you end up with some version of Impractical Jokers, where you actually are upsetting people.
Well, I mean that's spiraled.
I can genuinely see myself in a year's time kicking an old lady down.
I mean, you're presupposing anyone's listening to this.
That's true.
Hello, one person who's listening in. We really appreciate you.
If it's Mildred, I'm sorry, Mildred. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean anything I said.
Did you get the flowers we sent you, Mildred? We felt bad.
Oh dear. We did. What else? What else irks you, Michael?
What irks me about people?
About people in particular.
Well, I mean,
human beings.
About human beings, yeah. Aliens we're cool
Not
with.
Not about aliens, they're generally okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is the odd one that tries to eat you, but the others are all cool. What annoys me about people? People who don't behave like they should in public.
Okay. What kind of public scenario?
I'm talking in the middle of the city, screaming at each other.
Okay.
You want to scream at whoever.
Yeah.
Do it in your own house.
Do have your little domestic at home.
Don't do it while I'm going around Tesco trying to buy some vegetables.
I mean, there's a reason they call it a domestic.
Exactly.
It's domesticated.
Yes, it is a domesticated. They don't call it an industrial.
They don't call it a commercial. Sorry, can you please have this commercial elsewhere? Perhaps convert it into a little domestic at home.
I mean, that would be terrible.
Have you had this happen recently?
Well, yeah, actually, yes, I have today. This is why I thought of it today. Walking through the city,
convenient.
Two people screaming at each other. Don't know what about, couldn't understand them, wasn't listening. I was just annoyed that they were doing it as I was trying to find some celery. And I was like, I can't find...
That's the worst time for people to argue.
It really is. I can't find the celery, and someone is screaming, and
Well, I think it genuinely affects your vision. It just confuses you, and you just can't see properly.
I mean, I'm sort of wanting to listen in, but at the same time, I'm wanting to stay as distant from it as I possibly can.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they're near the celery, then that's all the more worse, isn't it?
Imagine if they were in front of the celery.
Oh my goodness!
You're
driving me crazy.
It could be truly awful.
Oh, because how long do you wait?
Exactly. How long is it then again polite to wait?
Mothers and children.
Will they annoy you, all of them?
Well, yes, but what I mean is when a mother is screaming at a child in the supermarket.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst. I feel sorry for the child sometimes, but sometimes the child is genuinely acting up, and you just don't know. You don't know what kind of life they've had.
No, true. It's difficult to know who to blame.
You just know they're morons, but you don't know why they're morons.
Yeah, the reasoning behind the
moronishness of it all.
The moronishness.
That's the one.
Which is a fantastic word.
It's a technical term.
It's a technical term, moronishness. Google it if you don't believe us.
Right, we should add this to what's it called? Urban Dictionary fast, so that people, when they Google it,
You just say add this to dictionary.
Urban.
Oh, urban.
Or
I thought you just said add this to dictionary.
I have Tourette's where I just say dictionary randomly. Dictionary.
Yeah. Sometimes I get right the way through a sentence, and then just at the end I say the wrong dictionary.
I know that's in something.
Yeah.
That's in something.
It is in a movie. I did steal it.
Yes, it's in Blackadder.
Is it?
And Blackadder's a perfect subject of conversation for this, well, in terms of the character of Blackadder, because he knows, he knows that people are morons.
Yeah, he does. I'm trying not to die.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
there,
I can't drink and speak. So that's drinking just like water. It's not actually drinking, which makes it even less impressive, really.
That is not water. That is squash, and you know it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You caught me red-handed. I've got a glass of squash.
Put the squash down.
Sorry. I lied about the water.
So Blackadder, yes.
I mean,
he knows
prime
people are
example.
morons.
Yes.
And he takes it and he runs with it.
He does. Oh, I mean, he has to.
I think we should take a leaf out of his book. I think we have, haven't we?
I think we definitely have. I mean, these things do annoy us, yet we're not acting on them.
Well, we're making a podcast. That is, I feel like this is a good way to have a catharsis without kicking ladies down stairs.
Without beating up elderly people.
Or the children.
Sometimes I think it's okay as well to be unpolite in certain situations. Not unpolite, impolite. Impolite. And when people are polite in those situations, it just makes the situation worse.
Okay.
I mean, you're going with people walking too slowly.
Yeah.
What about when you're walking towards someone and you both do the,
the "oh sorry, shall we dance"?
the path cha-cha-cha.
Yes.
In that situation, it takes one person to literally just like point where they're going, put their head down and walk that way. Because if you are both as polite as each other, you will be there forever.
I now have this vision in my head of two people walking towards each other and then pointing where they're about to go, putting their head down, shutting their eyes and just walking and hoping for the best.
I have pointed.
Do you think we should do that?
I have pointed before to just kind of indicate where I'm going when it's gone on for too long. I've met someone as polite as I am.
After 3 minutes.
We match each other's politeness and we've both gone either side at least 3 times. In the end, I just kind of gestured with my hand to the left and I was like, I'm going this way. It was like,
always hear the music dun 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 dun.
Whether you are still on the left-hand side of the path or not, that's where I'm going to be.
If you are there,
I will go,
unlucky.
I will go round you or through you.
Well, that's quite violent, I will say.
And so help me, Mildred, if you don't go on the right-hand side.
You're going down. That is something that I did today. Not walk through an old lady.
Yeah.
I don't know what this obsession is we have with being violent towards old ladies.
I mean, I think it's going to be quite revealing doing the podcast, really.
I'm realising things about myself already that I never knew were a problem.
It's making me very honest.
Yeah.
Like, I have never once, like, complained at someone for walking too slowly.
No.
Or said anything about someone holding a door open too long. Or
Hello
in
there,
fact,
sir. Excuse me, but I wasn't ready for you to hold the door open.
Or in fact, just like smacked someone out of the way when I'm walking towards them. But I do think about it.
Yeah.
I do.
You do. When you walk behind someone, and they're going fast enough that you don't want to walk around them because you feel like you're going to look a bit silly. You're going to do the whole, half run, half walk thing.
Yeah.
Ambling very quickly past them in a way that is unsightly at best. But they, you're sort of on their heels, and you just feel like, what if you just clip the heel a little bit?
Just what? Just nick it?
Just like enough for it to look like an accident. Don't try this at home.
No, when someone just kind of nicks it, it's just enough to set you off balance. that tiny thing.
Not enough to send them to A&E.
No, but just enough to, make the next step kind of... when you trip and it makes you kind of bow. You know, you're not really hurt,
Yeah.
but you're a bit embarrassed.
That's what I want sometimes.
That is one thing that really annoys me. Why do people laugh at people tripping? Like, it's not something that happens to everybody. This is a part of everyday life. Okay,
That's true. What do you do when you find yourself like losing your footing, or you've kicked a curb or something accidentally?
well, I mean, unless I like flop over, in which case I just cry inside from my damaged pride. If you're just doing a little trip, I don't feel that should be anything remarkable. Like, even noticeable.
Yeah.
Yet, if you're out with people and you trip, everyone's like, ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I find it quite embarrassing because you immediately look around you and to think, well, who saw that? Because this is very serious. What just happened?
It shouldn't be, though.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. I feel like it really is. It's a serious matter, tripping in public.
So I feel like
running in public.
you don't want to be embarrassed when you trip, yet you will happily embarrass others when they do.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to commit to it, be like, I don't mind if people laugh at me, but when you trip, I will fall on the floor laughing at you.
Well, here's a compromise. I would find it funny and would be happy to laugh if someone was to trip me up.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
I'm going to say that because no one would ever do it.
If ever you're walking next to Zach,
Please don't. Please no.
kick the back of his
I'll
knee.
be forced to laugh. But I'll be crying inside. You know, I think laughter and crying, I think they're very closely related.
They are.
They're
I mean,
close cousins.
just look at tickling.
Tickling.
You tickle someone for long enough. Laughing and crying go hand in hand. Like, they're laughing, but they're crying. They can't move. They're not happy about it. Yet they can't stop laughing, so it looks like they're enjoying themselves.
So you're panicking.
I mean, it
is hilarious.
It's really 50-50. Laughing, but they're crying. They're smiling, but they're very upset.
Laughing, but they're crying. They're smiling, but they're dying.
Yeah, exactly. These are the kind of bits we can just edit out.
Yeah. Suddenly
so just let it go silent.
For no reason. And what else irks you, Michael?
You know what else gets me?
What gets you? What grinds your gears?
When people say
What really
sayings,
grates your cheese?
What grates my cheese? What
So to
grates
speak.
my cheese is when people say sayings wrong.
Oh, do you mean wrongly? Come on.
Yes, yes I do.
Oh my goodness.
When people say expressions.
Incorrectly.
I'm going to say wrong again just to annoy you, because I knew that would get you the first
makes
time.
me cringe so much. You know I have verbal OCD.
When people say expressions wrongly,
Yes.
things like, I could care less.
Right, I agree. I
Now-
agree.
I watched ages ago a David Mitchell rant about this, and I found it hilarious. I'd never noticed that people actually do say, I could care less.
Which-
Now, if you're one of these people, I need you to know how deeply wrong you are,
They're so wrong.
because the expression is, I couldn't care less.
Right, because if you say, I could care less, that probably means that you're not that bothered. You know, how do you feel about what just happened? Well, I could care less.
I could care less about my job. Because I care about my job, I could care less about something else. If I couldn't care less about my job, that would be an issue. I would no longer have a job.
Exactly.
This
You've
is
got to
where
get
I'm
it
coming
right.
from. Yes.
It's really annoying.
People, I could care less. What?
If you're one of those people, don't do it. Stop it immediately.
You must stop this ludicrous behaviour.
It's crazy. You should seek help if you're someone that uses that expression. You should. Do you know what gets me when it comes to words as well? Talking about things people do. People are morons. You know, when people say, they can't say the word specific
So they say
or specifically. So they
like
say,
the ocean.
yes, the ocean, Pacifically. Pacific.
Yes. On that Pacific day,
When everything was water.
when everything was water. Like, okay, shall I start calling you Captain, or...
Or Free Willy.
That's when people say Pacific instead of specific.
Let me be Pacific about this. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I can't swim though, I will warn you.
Have you ever heard someone say it the other way round? The specific ocean.
No, but you have to assume that they may not be talking about the Pacific. They may be specifically talking about the Indian Ocean.
Exactly, they could well be.
That could get you very lost.
I didn't
I'll
know
meet
that
you. I'll meet you in the Pacific Ocean.
I'll meet you in the
Oh,
specific
yes, I know the
ocean.
one.
Oh yes, yes.
The
I
Atlantic.
didn't know the ocean was specific. You know,
It's quite generic, really.
I always thought the ocean was being a bit blasé.
The ocean doesn't really mind where it is. It just sort of is everywhere.
Yeah, it kind of goes with the flow.
Yeah. Was that a pun?
Well, it wasn't really. I mean, it's borderline pun.
Borderline pun. Okay, I'll just wave that one goodbye. Any other expressions that irk you while we're getting this off our chests?
While we're things people say,
Yeah.
they just get things wrong.
Yeah.
They
Well-
just don't.
Well, that's true. And you'd think it'd be so easy.
You know,
So easy.
this one has been said so many times. When people say like.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
Exactly. Like, I don't like it when people say something that they're thinking about, but they're having to say the word like
I
as
do
they
that in
express it.
conversation regularly. It's a word
I haven't
whisker.
noticed it as much with you, to be honest.
Okay.
I have got a couple of people in mind that I am thinking of. You probably know who you are.
Are
if
you going
listen.
to take action against these people because you?
I
should?
mean, I've tried, but it's a losing battle.
It's like swimming against the tide.
Exactly.
It's like fighting an army of sordid warriors.
It
Sordid
always-
warriors with swords. Well, thanks for listening. I meant warriors with swords.
Sordid warriors.
This is family friendly.
So thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Sword-bearing warriors.
Peggy 18.
Not sordid warriors.
What gets me, Michael, is I am irked by the use of the word definitely. Not the way that people say it, but the way that people often spell it incorrectly. Because a sentence will come out like, I defiantly want to do that again.
That happens a lot to me in texting.
It happens to you.
I don't
You
mean.
do it.
Yes, I don't mean to, because it bugs me, and I like when I send a text. I like it to be well formatted.
Of course.
However, it
Proofread if
autocorrects. No matter
necessary.
what I do, my phone autocorrects definitely to defiantly.
Really?
Yes, I think it's because it's happened a few
What
times.
phone do you have?
Now it thinks I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
What would you say it's anything relating to fruit?
No.
Would you say it's relating to chihuahuas? As in, my phone.
Oh no, it's not.
Does it rhyme with my phone?
No.
We're not getting anywhere
How does
with
it
this,
not
are we?
relate to
You're like
fruit?
a vault.
Yet rains with my phone.
Rains with my phone?
Rhymes. Oh.
Defiantly.
It's happening to me. I can't believe I said that.
You're losing your mind. I think you have scurvy.
It's all this talk of the ocean.
Yeah. I'm really trying to avoid ocean puns right now.
Let's go back onto the word like. I don't think I'm done with that yet.
Oh, there's more.
It annoys me, not because I dislike the word, but I honestly, when I'm trying to understand someone talking, I think they mean the word like, literally. I was at the shop, and instantly I'm thinking, okay, what's like a shop, but not a shop? Because they weren't at the shop.
Or the shop sells likes.
The
It's a
like
like
shop.
shop.
Exactly. I liked that
only
picture.
by Facebook.
When someone uses the word like properly, but puts the improper use of the word like before it.
like.
So, I like those flowers.
Or after.
I like those flowers.
I like those flowers. Or I like those flowers.
Either way, it's terrible.
The flowers aren't, though. The flowers are nice.
There's no flowers.
Oh, I was looking outside.
I mean...
Those are flowers. Those are like...
That's a bush.
I said like. I'm really sorry.
Well, to be honest,
It was an
I
accident.
don't notice it every single time, but there are certain
She
people you
will now.
speak to, and
like
they say it so much. It's half the words they say.
Yeah.
I don't feel like any one word should dominate 50% of your speech.
Yeah. I feel like, do you know what I hate as well? Is when people lie all the time. Oh, I hate that. And when it's really obvious as well. Like,
Yeah.
there's...
Stupid lies.
Oh, stupid lies. Stupid, lies,
It's difficult to disagree with you. I mean, I can't disagree with liking truth.
Yeah.
I love lying.
Lying is great. Yes, lying is good for the soul.
That actually brings me back onto the original subject, being polite, and how polite can be irksome, because
Ooh.
people lie to be polite.
Irksome. Yes, they do. Yes,
People
they do.
lie to be, but they're polite lies. I disagree with that. I feel that being polite is being honest.
So-
Because if you ask a question and someone knows that the honest reply
Would
may
be
upset
negative.
you, you should be prepared to deal with that as you're the one that asked the question.
That's true. Yeah, why should we feel bad because we've given the correct answer?
Exactly.
If someone says, how do I look in this?
If
And
I
you're
think you
thinking,
look bad,
that does not suit you, don't wear it. But then you say, do you know what? That looks great on you. You're doing them a disservice.
exactly. I mean, then how do you know what to trust?
You can't trust anything.
I mean, if every day for a week you asked me do you like what I'm wearing? Not that you ever have or ever will.
Well, do you like what I'm wearing?
I mean, it's very generic. It looks comfy. I'd say go with it. It's pretty much the same as what I'm wearing,
Alright, minus the hoodie.
minus the hoodie.
Well, I think that you're telling the truth.
So then, if I lied about it and I always liked what you were wearing, you would never know when you truly looked nice.
Yeah. I mean, and then, that would just spiral out of control. I mean, you've heard of the Emperor's New Clothes.
I have heard
I
of
would
the
be
Emperor's
walking
New Clothes.
outside naked, assuming that I look the bee's knees. I'm walking out on my gate, I'm feeling like the cat's whiskers. All
Well,
pyjamas.
I mean, that only works if you convince people that only stupid people can't see the clothes.
Well, it would work that way, or if everyone always says to you, you look nice in that, regardless of what you were wearing. Because then you could just wear nothing, and people would say, maybe you would look nice in that. You know what I mean?
I feel that's very dependent on the person. I don't think anybody should try this.
Don't try this at home.
That's how you get arrested, children.
Yes, this is a disclaimer. This is in no way meant to provide life guidance.
Again, one of the
Or
things Zach has obviously thought about but never done.
I won't lie to you. It's crossed my mind. It has crossed my mind. But there are many things that have crossed my mind that I would never do. Like,
Kicking a pigeon.
I was going to say swimming in the ocean.
You've never swam in the ocean.
I can't float.
Can you
I
not?
physically am unable to float. And there will be people listening to this that will say, you know what? Everyone can float. But I say, no.
I'm with you. I am totally with you there. Now, I can
That
float.
surprises me.
I can float.
Okay.
And I have sort of learnt how to swim. I'm working on it. I'm with you there because people, that's another thing. They will tell you that anyone can float and it's just you're doing it wrong. No,
Yeah.
I don't believe that because other people say olives. You don't like olives because you haven't tried the right olives. And about once a year, be out somewhere, new group of people that don't know me, people that don't know that I don't like olives. And they'll say...
They're disgusting, I'm with you there.
They'll say, oh, you don't like olives? Everyone likes olives. I don't.
Clearly, I am not a person.
That's because you haven't had the right olives.
Mm.
And they go, after you eat these, you're going to love it. No, I won't. I've tried olives several times. Never once have I thought this is remotely enjoyable.
I'm going to eat this olive right here. No, that is disgusting.
Yeah. And then I was like, why did I put myself through that? So now I refuse.
I think there are a lot of things that people assume that everyone can do or that everyone likes.
People will then say, oh, you just need to eat a few olives. It's an acquired taste. It's like, great, so I eat something disgusting until it's tolerable.
Yeah, I feel like that's not really a way to live. If it was, I'd be dining on hummus every night. I feel like hummus is not food.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. It is paste.
Paste. And paste is not always a bad thing. I like paste in sandwiches.
Paste in sandwiches?
Yeah, like Brussels pate. And
well, yeah, I mean...
Duck.
Pate sandwiches?
Yeah. They...
Really?
Yeah, they're good.
I'd have pate on
What's
toast.
What's wrong with that?
I've never had a pate sandwich.
You have pate on toast?
Yeah.
No, that's weird.
No, that's not weird.
That's the...
I feel like that is less weird.
Sandwiches, pate in sandwiches is acceptable. Pate on toast.
No, because you have...
I don't even know how to describe
You have pate on crackers. You have pate with something crunchy.
Yes, crackers. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So how would you then just have it with normal soft bread?
Because it's nice.
I mean, something
Depending
with
on
like crusty bread.
The taste.
Something with a crust, something with a crunch. Or like a pate sandwich. It's like normal white bread.
I just realised, is that a pot of hummus?
That is a pot of hummus. That's not mine. Disclaimer.
Oh. Okay.
I dislike it intensely. Yet I am the one who went to the shop to buy it.
Oh. Whoosh. This is where we need our soundboard.
This is where we need our whip soundboard. Yes.
The whip soundboard.
If you buy hummus, you are officially whipped. Because everyone knows.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
You are whipped if you do anything nice for your wife.
What do you think are some other things that people assume everyone can do or they assume everyone likes?
I think everyone assumes you can drive when you're my age.
Yeah, okay.
Like, that's a bit of a... Like, I have a bone to pick with some people. Like, okay, I get it. It is unusual to not be driving at my age.
Yes.
That is irregular.
But I was also late.
I understand that. However, I'm also working on getting driving. However, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
Don't you?
Like,
you don't feel like that's that big of a deal.
Dude, my voice is deeper than yours anyway, so when I do the high voice, it's probably about yours normally.
No, my voice is like this.
Yeah.
Anyway. At least I don't buy hummus for my wife.
At least I have a wife. Yes, driving. I don't think it's that strange not to be driving at my time in life.
A lot of people don't drive.
A lot of people don't.
If you live in London, I mean...
Yeah, well, exactly. Driving, no doubt, would have been incredibly useful. There's no denying that. However, I have managed to get to this point in my life without driving a car.
True, you're still with us.
And it hasn't actually hindered me all that much in the grand scheme of things.
Mm.
Like, because obviously, if I still lived with my parents, I think people would say they wouldn't even be expecting me to drive. Yet because I don't, I'm then expected to drive. You have moved out, therefore you must be driving.
Yeah. I think if you live close enough to the city centre,
as I do,
as you do, then you can walk places.
Exactly, and walking is healthy.
Bus to work.
Have any idea how fat I'll be once I'm driving?
Like a hippo, I imagine.
I mean, it's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait. But I am going to gain weight. I know it because most of the exercise I get right now is walking.
It'd be like an elephant has eaten a hippo.
I'm going to have to start actually actively doing something to exercise because right now all my exercise is circumstantial.
It will be like a blue whale has beached itself and eaten the elephant that ate the hippo.
I mean, that's
And
just
it'll
hurtful.
be fantastic. I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
They said burn, so...
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm
that
just
would have
gonna
actually picked it up.
I'm just going to go with it. Yeah, driving. Yeah, I was like, I was late driving, mid-20s. I was on the road before that, mind you. I had a motorbike.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I was on a motorbike for like 6 years.
When you say motorbike,
7 years.
you
Maybe
you
8.
don't mean a moped, you actually mean a motorbike.
An actual motorbike.
Alright, good.
Yes.
That's the one thing. Another thing that annoys me, people that call mopeds motorbikes.
Mopeds in general, unless they are Vespers that are well looked after and maintained and respected, mopeds in general annoy me.
I feel like the only acceptable time for a grown man to ride a moped would be round small streets in Italy.
Yes, if you're Michael Caine.
I mean, that would just be cool and enjoyable. Yeah. If you're my age with a moped, just going about your daily life,
then you're like Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man movies.
You deserve something bad to happen to you.
I was going to run with that, and then I thought, this is so harsh. Because there's someone listening who is in that situation, Michael.
If our one listener is a moped rider, we've just lost him.
That's it, podcast over.
Podcast over. Done.
That's a shame.
Sorry, I've still got Mildred.
No. She died in the course of this podcast.
Oh, man.
It's a sad time.
Oh, dude.
It's a really sad time.
Poor Mildred. At least we've already sent flowers.
Mopeds. When people, I say people, let's say kids rev them up, and they kind of, either when they're riding or when they're with their mates and they're showing it off, rev it right up, and I mean, I've got more power in my toothbrush, and it's not electric, so it just sounds horrendous. It sounds like a whiny, adult baby.
I have overtaken mopeds on a push bike before.
That's brilliant. I'm so glad.
When you're going downhill, if you go over the top of a steep hill and you're already going fast, you can overtake them.
They go like 40 miles an hour max.
At the absolute max. If someone heavy is riding them...
It's really annoying on a dual carriageway. And on country roads, it's worse.
Oh my goodness. Country roads on a moped, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Well, it's okay if you're careful, but people just bomb it around corners, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Driving, people are really bad drivers. They're such bad drivers.
This is honestly why that right there is the reason why I'm both excited and nervous about learning to drive.
Reticent, even.
Nice word use, reticent.
Reluctant.
I'm not reluctant to learn to drive. I do really want to, but the thing is, on one hand, I'm not nervous because literally anyone can drive. Everyone and his mum drives. But at the same time, everyone and his mum drives. So it's like, okay, so yes, anyone can drive, but so many people are bad drivers.
Everyone's alright. It's his mum that's the problem.
Yeah, it's all the mums.
Do you know what really annoys me? Is the people that insist on not going above 50 miles an hour. Or sometimes 40 on like national speed limit roads.
I mean, I was going to say, if you're going through like a 30 zone, I can fully understand that. In fact,
I endeavour to go 50 through 30 mile an hour zones.
The speed limit's just a guideline,
It's
really.
annoying because they sit there and it's like they're not even moving. They're not even moving, and you're kind of you just know that one moment in your week when you're sitting behind that person, the oncoming traffic is heavy, so you can't overtake them. You have to just sit behind them. and you can get on their backside as much as you like. It probably makes it worse. So you take a bus to work.
I do.
I used to bus to college. So that was, most days of the week. And how do you feel about bus fares?
See, I don't have to pay for the bus to get to work.
Noted.
That is one of the perks.
That's really annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's massively... it's not annoying. I'm happy for you. I'm sorry.
I did used to have to pay at my old job.
Okay.
And that was
that makes me feel a little...
That was like £16 a week.
Better. Wow.
So
£16 a week.
Yeah.
Which is 15, 30, 45, 64 pounds a month.
Quick maths.
It's really quick.
£64 a month.
I didn't even write that down.
That was at my first job, and I probably didn't earn much more than £64 a month. Like, I spent a lot of my wages getting to work.
That irks me.
That does irk me. I feel like there's bus etiquette as well.
There is bus etiquette, and people do not follow it.
No, they don't.
They don't. They put their feet up on the seats.
They put their... Oh my goodness.
There's a sign that says don't do it.
There is a sign that says don't do it.
Every time.
Yeah, I know. When people as well, everybody knows you always want to go and sit by the window with an empty chair next to you.
Yeah, but you don't want someone stranger sitting next to you.
Everyone wants that. That's what... If you go on the bus and that is not an option, you have no choice but to sit next to someone.
Or leave the bus.
You sit next to the least weird person.
Do you think?
Well, you endeavour. You aim for who you think is both normal enough to stick to themselves, keep themselves to themselves, and probably doesn't smell.
Difficult call to make.
It is. I mean, especially when the bus is going to start going, you've got that pressure of you're going to fall over in a second. You've got to go.
You have to sit somewhere because you'll get injured.
I have been right and wrong while making that choice before.
At the same time?
No, not at the same time. I was meaning on different instances.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
But what annoys me is no matter where I am on the bus, because this happens quite frequently, if I am one of the many people with a spare seat next to them, the weirdo sits next to me.
Well, you should take that as a compliment, because he's got on that bus and he's thought, right, limited time, who around here looks like they are chronically normal?
Chronically normal.
And that is a compliment.
That's both complimentary and devastating.
It's not my opinion. Hey, I'm not the bloke who's just got on the bus.
You're not the weirdo on the bus.
I'm not the weirdo on the bus. I drive, remember.
No matter who else is there. So there's either the weirdo that always sits next to me, and then they do something worse. They strike up a conversation.
Oh no. Please, no. What is the conversation about?
Anything.
Oh no.
Absolutely. They just want to chat.
Words. Oh.
They want to chat, and I don't need that.
How do you feel about when people talk to you about the weather?
Again, if it's someone I don't know, conversation is lacking.
Yeah.
I feel it's polite.
I think it's quite a good conversation filler, the weather.
If it's someone you know well and you end up talking about the weather, I feel like it has to be because of some specific event. We're going out this evening.
Yeah, because...
What's the weather going to be like?
Yeah, or, my goodness, did you get caught in the hailstorm yesterday?
Exactly.
But when someone knows you, and you start spouting off about the weather to them, they're sitting there thinking, why do you feel the need to fill the conversation? When you know someone well enough, and I've done this, even on the phone, you're holding the phone to your ear, and you're not saying anything at all. My voice is going very high. You're just listening, and they're saying nothing. There's like a 30-second pause, and then you go, "Oh, did you have a look at the thing the other day?" and they go, "Oh yeah," like there was no pause, because you know them, and there's no need to. There's no pretense.
We're afraid of silence.
We are.
A lot of people are afraid of silence. I think it makes people uncomfortable when I am quiet, because they don't realise that I'm quite happy being quiet. And they feel the need to fill the air with words. I'm quite talkative right now, that's not a problem. But when someone is quiet, it puts people off. They think, oh, they must be in a mood. They must be angry. No, I'm quite content. And while this is very enjoyable for me, we are wanting people to listen.
I couldn't resist.
I
couldn't resist not talking for a second there.
I don't think when people listen to a podcast, they're thinking, you know what I could go for right now? Some silence.
Hey. Now, Mozart said that the beauty of music lies between the notes.
So
See,
basically,
that silence just there was beautiful. That was... Wow.
Well, they say silence is golden.
And someone even sang it once.
They did.
They did.
Ironically.
But I think, as a nation, Brits, I feel like sometimes I'm a weather expert. I literally could just walk straight onto the BBC weather and stand in front of that green screen and show people, in detail what is going to be happening with the weather. Because someone will say to me, because I work outside, they'll say, "Oh, been funny weather in the past couple of days, hasn't it?" And I'll say, "Well, yes. Yesterday, start off about 12 degrees and the sun was shining and you had, warm weather coming over from the west. And then before you know it, by noon, clouds had become, made the sky a little overcast, start forming little droplets there and raining down on us by about 3 o'clock. And I'm hearing myself speak, thinking, why am I not on a weather channel?
Why am I
could
not?
Be so good at it.
A meteorologist.
Meteorologist. A meteorologist. We'll practice our pronunciation of that.
Oh, I mean, I know how to pronounce it. It's just that my mouth won't do what I want it to.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Things mouths do that irk us. Next episode.
Yeah,
the things our mouths do that, whilst occasionally my mouth opens and says things. I hate it when it does that.
See, I will do this thing sometimes where I know exactly what I want to say, but my mouth just shuts down. The signal does not get from my brain to my mouth. So I'll start a sentence and I'll just go... Aah.
Dictionary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. It just kind of blur.
It just blurs.
It just blurs.
Yeah.
Also, words will be swapped around.
I have a good example of this. When I suppose there's many examples, but if you're saying to someone have a good day, but you kind of
say have a day good.
No, because sometimes you say goodbye, sometimes you say have a good day, and I think because the word good is in there twice, you're like you confuse your brain, and you're like have a good day, or like a good guy, or like. You get confused. It might not be you.
Or saying...
I do.
I mean, I've not done that. I have said hi-lo before.
Hi-lo, aloha.
But, I mean, that's not just saying hello in a strange accent. That's a mixture of hi and hello.
Yeah.
When my brain can't decide which ones it wants to say.
Yeah, it'd be really unfortunate if we were French, because we'd be like, salut jour. Yeah. I'm not gonna explain that.
Well, I mean... You acted like I spoke even a little bit of French.
Do you not speak even a little bit of French?
No.
Did you not learn any at school?
I didn't go to school.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Were you homeschooled?
I was.
I never knew that.
See, that's another thing. People assume I'm going to be a total weirdo.
Yeah. Well.
Because and I don't disagree with it. Because I can tell straight away when someone else is homeschooled.
Can you really?
Oh, absolutely.
That's so interesting.
Absolutely. And until I tell people, they don't actually know.
Wow.
Which I take as a compliment personally.
Well, I don't think being homeschooled is a bad... I would love to... If I had children, I would want to homeschool my children.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you can definitely tell, or at least I can definitely tell when someone has been homeschooled. I've heard from other people that they can do the same thing, which is why they were surprised.
A new
when
race of superheroes.
They told me. A new race of superheroes.
That all have this power.
That is the worst superhero ever.
Homeschooled man. Has the ability to detect other homeschooled men.
Education detector, we need you.
Do you think that there's like a social element missing with being homeschooled, or were you like yeah, well, I mean, do you feel like there's a social element missing?
I think there are good points and bad points to both.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say any one or the other is better or worse. I think it really is going to depend on the kid. I mean, I've got a lot of older siblings, so I think that helped me to kind of develop faster.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm the youngest.
And
whereas
the most powerful and the most intelligent.
Yeah, I wish.
Well, that's what you said earlier. So.
Yeah, love to you all. Whereas I think if you're like the only kid, or there's one or two of you, I'm not saying you definitely are going to be affected by it, but I think you have to work harder to develop those social skills.
Right.
Purely because everything comes down to practice.
Yeah.
If you're at school, you are practicing your social skills every single day, and a lot of people still get it wrong.
Hopefully not during class, though.
Well, I'm not saying that. Well, hopefully not. But not saying go to school does not mean that you are a social person. But I think it helps to develop those skills if you are
surrounded by kids. Yeah.
It's like if you go to a foreign country and you're learning to speak the language, it helps because you're surrounded by the language. You might not be particularly good at that, or you might be very good at it. Either way, it's going to help you. Whereas if you're taken away from that, it's like you're learning a language without being immersed by it.
Yeah. Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with, kids at school, just to be fair, people in general, let's face it, people are morons. We know this. And there are so many different kinds of kids at school, which is good. But you do get some that you just kind of... I think sometimes some parents wish they had homeschooled their kids because of kids like that feel it's necessary to pick on. Like what I was saying earlier about kicking old ladies.
Yes.
When they do things like that to other kids, that irks me.
That comes under the whole bullying thing, doesn't it? Like, how can a person actually grow up without recognizing that's unacceptable?
Yeah, I don't know. Because even kids that haven't had a very good upbringing don't necessarily pick on others just to make themselves feel better.
No, they don't at all.
I feel like sad music should overlay this segment.
Yeah, very solemn. Very solemn.
Very solemn. Think of something happy. Rainbows.
Okay. Are rainbows inherently happy, though?
Well, no, they're not. They don't feel happy, I assume. I mean, they're just composed of light.
Are they?
Refracted light. Yeah. It's light that reflects off the moisture in the sky.
Then why is it all the different colours, not just one colour?
Because it's refracted.
Yep. So
through the moisture. This is true, Michael.
Yeah, I'm not doubting you. I'm just wondering. So why do we get the different colours?
Because when it's refracted, it refracts from white light out into what makes up the white light.
So is that why when it spreads out, that's why rainbow colours are always in the same order?
Yeah.
Oh, did not know that.
The science show. Yeah.
Yeah.
In this podcast, you will learn various scientific facts.
Also, light is invisible. Just putting that out there.
What?
Light is invisible.
Oh my goodness, you're blowing my mind.
Light is invisible until it hits. Light is invisible until it hits something. We have a light bulb right above us right now.
That's so true, actually.
You can't see the light that's travelling through the air to get to you.
But I can see things better.
But you can see it because we bounce off the light. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to spend some time thinking about that.
I know.
That's just blowing my mind.
I know. I mean, there are questions we just shouldn't think about, like, what colour is a mirror?
Oh!
Like, that's awful.
What? Can you not?
I don't know what colour a mirror is. What I do know is your reflection in a mirror is always the same size, no matter how far away you are.
What?
Yeah.
How does that work? That can't be true.
It is. It totally is.
So, but...
Next time, even listener at home, you know, if you are committed...
The one listener.
Listen
to us now.
Try this. Draw a little outline on your mirror in something of like the outline of your head, and then just step away from the mirror, and no matter how far back you go, as long as you can still see yourself, your head will still be in the same outline.
The same size?
The same size.
That doesn't make... my speech is not happening right now. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But it's true.
It doesn't make sense when you think about it logically, but it is 100% true, I promise.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to have to try that.
Like, if anyone does listen to this, I think this is the one part where people are going to be like, ooh.
It took them 3 hours to get here.
Yeah.
But they are at the moment of, ooh.
We're at the moment of, yeah. Interesting.
Hey.
What else do we know?
What else do we know?
Oh, I mean, I was trying to think of something interesting. The mirror thing was like...
I really wish I had a compelling argument to suggest that the Earth is actually fat. It is. It's a big one.
Part of the new Fat Earthers group.
Fat Earth Society. I would get behind that.
It sounds like a global movement for obesity.
Oh my goodness, it just makes me want to eat pizza.
Oh, yes, let's get pizza.
The Fat Earth Society.
Oh my goodness.
We should do that.
We should totally do that.
Oh, wow. If anyone wants to come and get pizza with us, just like, subscribe, comment in the comments below.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we should start a channel now. A separate channel.
Called Fat Earth Society.
Fat Earth Society.
It would so take off.
That would be...
You know it would.
Well, it wouldn't take off, would it really? I mean, it's too heavy.
But the thing is, people love posts about food.
They do.
I love to cook. You love to cook.
I
Everyone...
don't know if I love to cook.
What? You're a good cook.
That doesn't mean I love to cook. Although, thank you, by the way.
You're welcome. You've just flummoxed me. Yes, flummoxed.
I enjoy cooking. I don't know if I love cooking. I mean...
Okay.
I think I enjoy cooking out of necessity. Cooking is something that must be done.
You don't have to enjoy it, though.
No, you don't have to.
Some people hate cooking.
But I know that it's something I'm going to be doing on a regular basis, so I may as well enjoy myself.
Okay. Does that mean that you do things to make cooking more enjoyable?
If someone was like, I will cook for you every single day. Like I had my own chef.
Yeah.
And they
cooked
cooked
for you for free.
They cooked for me every single day. I wouldn't miss cooking.
That is the dream. Would you not?
No.
I would miss it.
See, I think that means you enjoy cooking more than I do, because I wouldn't miss that.
I'd say we've reached that conclusion. Yeah, I do. I do love to cook.
Yeah, I have fun, you know.
I don't actually understand. You know, when you go to a restaurant or something and the food is bad, I don't get how that happens, because
you don't understand the process of making bad food.
No, I don't. I just don't think.
I've made some bad food before.
Well, so have I, but only when it's been my first time making something.
Oh, that's true.
And
yeah.
You expect the professionals in the kitchen.
They should have had some practice.
Right. Especially if it's something that's on the menu that's been there a while.
I'm always suspicious of places when you go there and there's a million things on the menu.
Right. Okay.
Like that's warning to me.
Do you feel like that's because you don't think they have devoted a good amount of time to any one of their dishes?
I feel like that's because partly that, but I would rather they do a few things really well than a lot of things mediocre or badly.
Right, so like if you go to a steakhouse, you know it's going to be good steak.
Yeah.
Because that's their specialty.
If I go to a restaurant and there's like 10 things on the menu, that instantly is a big thumbs up from me.
Right, okay.
Because although I don't have the selection, there's 10 things.
And they're probably really good.
Odds are, you have 100 customers, you've made each one of them 10 times.
Yeah.
They're going to be good.
But if you go to like a big restaurant chain, say, well, we can't use their real name. We'll call it Spatherwounds. And they've got like 30. I mean, I do enjoy their food actually, but sometimes you get it where it doesn't quite happen the way you want it to, and you just wonder, if they did have less things on the menu, companies like that. I just wonder if the specialty effect of it would mean that there's better food.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I do.
Well, thanks for listening. It's been good having you with us. Next week we'll have a whole new set of subjects that irk us.
So thanks for tuning in. See you next week.